Welcome to Pulse 24, your weekly read on what actually moved in AI. I'm Nate, here with Dr. Anya Sharma. This week, most of a leading AI coding tool turns out not to be AI. Export controls push buyers towards open models. And agents get their own logins.
3 stories, Nate, and one thread runs through them. The model is becoming the easy part.
Let's start with the number that stopped me. Someone pulled apart Claude Code, Anthropic's coding agent, and found that less than 2% of it is actually the AI. The other 98% is plumbing. What is going on there?
It's a study from Mohammed bin Zayed University, surfaced by Semaphore. The split is an estimate from reverse-engineered code, so treat it as a ballpark. But the shape is real. Permissions, sandboxing, memory, session state. The clever model sits inside a small cage of very ordinary, deterministic software.
And the same week, a developer named Vinicius Brazil wrote about rejecting AI code even when it passes the tests. That feels connected.
It is the same point from the engineer's chair. Writing the code got cheap, but reading it and trusting it got expensive.
So where does that leave a team betting heavily on coding agents?
Watch where your engineering hours actually go. If generation is close to solved, the hard part and the moat is review and the harness around the model, not the model itself.
Does that mean the model barely matters now?
No, you still need a strong model. But as the scaffolding around it grows, the model becomes a shrinking slice of what you are actually building.
Staying with who controls the model, let's talk open weights. A week after Washington ordered Anthropic to switch its top models off for foreign nationals, the response is showing up. A Chinese lab, Zhipu, open-sourced a big new model, and its shares jumped about a third in a single day.
The model is called GLM 5.2, with over 750 billion parameters, released under an open MIT license. According to CNBC, the firm cast it as a direct reply to Washington. The line was that cutting-edge intelligence should be open and not something a government can switch off.
Is open weight actually good enough to build on, or is this mostly symbolic?
On capability, it is closing fast, and there is a cheaper route too. OpenRouter shipped a tool called Fusion that blends several budget models, and on one research benchmark, it matched a frontier model for about half the cost.
And this is not only a China story, is it?
No. Reuters reports European firms quietly spreading work across several providers, treating reliance on any single vendor as a risk to manage.
So what should a buyer take from all that?
The thing to watch is whether teams start designing to swap models, because access is now a political variable, not just a technical one.
Last big one, and it is about giving software agents an identity of their own. Cloudflare and a startup called Nucore both shipped ways for an AI agent to log in and act without a human clicking through a sign-up. Why does that matter?
Because the moment an agent tries to do something real, like deploy code, it hits a wall built for humans, a login, a browser, a token to copy and paste. Cloudflare now lets an agent run a single command and get a live throwaway account for 60 minutes, which a person can later take over and own.
And Nucore is taking the identity side of this.
Yes, it came out of stealth with $66 million, according to TechCrunch, to give agents managed company identities you can audit and switch off, rather than borrowing a person's login.
And the big platforms are leaning into this too?
They are. Google made its new agent interface generally available the same week, with managed agents that run unattended.
What's the catch? Because this sounds like a lot of new doors into the building.
That is the watch item. The same autonomy widens the attack surface, and it lands the same month Microsoft pulled at least 70 open source projects after password-stealing malware were slipped into AI developer tools.
Right, lightning round, 2 quick ones. First, a milestone. ChatGPT's share of the assistant market has slipped below 50% for the first time.
According to Decrypt, rivals like Gemini and the Chinese models are taking ground. The thing to watch is fragmentation, where distribution starts to matter as much as the model.
And second, some eye-watering numbers from OpenAI.
Leaked financials reported by Ars Technica show an operating loss of nearly $21 billion on about $13 billion in revenue.
Tripling revenue and still losing $21 billion. That is the AI economy in one line.
It is, and it is a big reason everyone is suddenly so interested in cheaper, open models.
That is it for this week. If one thing sticks, make it this. The model is becoming the easy part, and the hard parts are review, identity, and who you depend on. Thanks for spending a few minutes with Pulse 24. Stay curious, stay informed. See you next time.